What's up, YouTube family? Lou here with another Godlike Collectibles video, and I wanted to talk about the Hall of Fame selection. So I see that we got 3 people that got into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Adrian Beltre and Todd Helton and Joe Mauer. Now I got a beef. I'm starting early with this one, man. I got a rant right now. Joe Mauer getting into the Hall of Fame. And a lot of people, they're going to say, well, he was a 3-time batting champion. He was a catcher, this, that, and the other. And I get it. Okay, he won the 3 times. He won the batting title 3 times as a catcher. Cool. Guess what? Bill Matlock won 4 batting titles. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? He's got 4 batting titles, right? My beef here is that, you got guys like Don Mattingly. And I know I'm biased because Don Mattingly's my guy. But I have to drive this home, people. I have to drive this home. Because when I start looking at the stats and I start comparing Mattingly and Mauer, it's like I can't believe my eyes. I really can't believe my eyes. I think people need to really dig into the statistics and really look. Don Mattingly was probably one of the top 3 players in the 1980s. Hands down, any position, top 3 players in the 80s. Compare his numbers in the 80s to anybody in the 80s. He's a top 3 player in the 80s. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay? And I started analyzing these numbers, right? I printed out Mauer's numbers. For a guy who's considered a great hitter, he never hit more than 175 hits in a year, more than 3 times in his whole career. In his whole career, he never hit over 175 hits. 3 times is how many times he hit over 175. He hit 181, which was his second highest, 176, and 191 hits. That was the most he's ever hit in a season. 3 times has he been at 175 or more. Only 3 out of 15 years. Don Mattingly hit over 200 hits in 3 seasons. Mauer never hit 200 hits in his season, in his whole career. And you know how many times Mattingly hit 175 hits or more? 7 times. 7 times to Mauer's 3. And Mauer's best season, he hit 365, 347, and 328. Those were his high numbers, right? Those are his highs. Mattingly's highs, 352, 343, and 324. Okay? So, doubles. Mattingly has more doubles than him. Mattingly has 442 to 428. Mind you, Mauer has over 200 more plate appearances, about 240 more plate appearances than Don Mattingly. So who knows how many more doubles Mattingly could have had. Home runs, Mattingly has more home runs, 222 to 143. RBIs, Mattingly has more RBIs. 1099 to 923. And let's look at the strikeouts. How many times did Mattingly strike out? Mattingly struck out 444 times. You know how many Mauer struck out? He struck out 1,034 times. More than double the amount of times that Mattingly struck out. But yet, we're putting Joe Mauer in the Hall of Fame and not Mattingly. 9 Gold Gloves to 3 Gold Gloves. Mattingly has more hits than he does. I don't get it. I really don't get it. This thing has been like bugging the hell out of me. The disrespect that Mattingly gets. Oh, he didn't do it long enough. He didn't do it long enough. The guy got over 175 hits in a season 7 times. Over 200 hits 3 times. Mauer can't even sniff 200 hits. But because he got 3 batting titles, I want you to also take into account the era. The era that Mauer played compared to the era that Mattingly played. There are more 3,000 hit club members from Mattingly's era than they are from Mauer's era. I don't know. Maybe I just needed to blow off some steam, and that's why I got on here, because I was upset at the fact that you got guys like Harold Baines, you got guys like Joe Mauer getting into the Hall of Fame, and meanwhile my man Don Mattingly keeps getting, crapped on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. And at that Mattingly got hurt near the end of his career. Can you imagine if he didn't, how much more his numbers would be? He was hurt, and his numbers are better than Mauer's. He was hurt, and his numbers are better than Mauer. Can you imagine if he wasn't hurt? He would have crushed Joe Mauer's numbers. Crushed them. And I know a lot of people might say, oh, well, he was a catcher for most of his career. Mattingly was the first baseman. That don't matter. It don't make a difference to me. At the end of the day, if your argument is going to be that he was a 3-time batting champion, then you know what? You're not telling me much if he can't even get 200 hits in a season. You know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm hot. I'm hot. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? They both got the same amount of All-Star appearances, 6. You know what I mean? The only thing he has over Mattingly is an extra 2 Silver Sluggers. Everything else, Mattingly has beaten him. You know what I mean? And besides the batting titles, he had 2 extra batting titles. But Mattingly lost the batting title. He batted .352. Mattingly batted .352 and lost the batting title, which goes to show you the competition was stronger. But I don't know. You know what I mean? I look at these numbers and I'm like, I can't believe it. And he played an extra year than Mattingly. You know what I mean? He's got 15 years under his belt. Mattingly has 14. And if you really want to look at Mattingly, you could really say 13, because his first year he only played 7 games. So his second year he played 91 games. So add those together to give you 1 season, and he still don't add up to 100 games. So he really only played 13 seasons, and he still got better numbers than Mauer. But anyway, Mattingly was the best in the 80s, one of the best players in the 80s, hands down. I never hear anybody talk about Joe Mauer as being one of the greatest players that ever played the game. You know what I mean? And it's sickening that the Hall of Fame would do that to Don Mattingly. You know what I mean? Hell, you can even put Dale Murphy against Mauer. Even though Mauer's a better hitter for average, to me, Murphy was the better player. He was a better player. And he was a 2-time MVP. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people are not going to like my rant, and it's all good. But as a baseball fan, I'm just passionate, because I truly believe that Mattingly needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He has to. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? That the greatest, probably top 3 greatest players in the 80s, and the poor guy's not even in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? But meanwhile, you got guys like this that, played 15 years, and, their numbers are really not even that much better than Mattingly's. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even want to hear the arguments. You know what I mean? You could comment down below. I'm just like upset. But anyway, Take care. God bless. And be safe, folks. Peace.